What happens when a botanical nerd with zero game finds a plant that's part Venus flytrap, part interplanetary diva, and 100% hungry for human blood?
You get a sci-fi horror comedy where the only thing growing faster than the plant is the body count.
Find out next on Trees in Space. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Trees in Space Show, the show where we watch, review all movies in all genres. We tell you what the fans thought, what the critics thought, and what we think. Is it worthy of an entire forest, a small grove, or just a stump to sit on? This week, in case you missed the thumbnail, we watched the 1986 rated PG musical Little Shop of Horrors, starring Rick Moranis and Ellen Greene. I am Jason, and with me as always is the witty to my Smitty, the brains up in Boston, Nathan Hanks. How you doing, Nate?
Hey there, everybody. I'm doing well. Um, I discovered that I knew a lot of these songs and did not realize that they all came from this movie. Like, I believe I've heard every single song in this movie in another fashion outside of this movie.
Well, I'm not taking credit for this, but I am pretty sure I have sung the Dennis song to everyone at least one time in my life because it's my favorite song. And I mean that plus the last song, but um, it's just yeah. There's so many. Yeah. Well, you know what? Let me tell the people what this movie's about. Then we'll get into it. Meek flower shop assistant Seymour, who's Rick Moranis, pines for coworker Audrey Ellen Green. During a total eclipse, he discovers an unusual plant he names Audrey too, which feeds only on human blood and flesh. The growing plant attracts a great deal of business from the previously struggling store. After Seymour feeds Audrey's boyfriend to, Steve Martin, Oren, the plant, uh, um, to the plant, he must come up with more bodies and increasingly to feed the increasing bloodthirsty plant. Okay. And he's doing it because he's making a lot of money, he's getting famous, and he's getting Audrey's attention. That's why he's doing it.
That was harder to get through than listening to Miss Green's accent choice in this movie.
I call it an Audrey too.
After me?
I hope you don't mind.
Oh God, that's the thing about Mrs. Green. I could not stand her talk voice. I cannot. But she is a Broadway actress, and she sings on Broadway. And when she sings, when she hits those long whatever, girl can sing.
Oh, and
She should.
extremely impressed that she holds the accent in the song. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that can't be her
Yes,
real voice, I'm
it's
sure.
not.
Right. So,
It's not.
good honor is just, oh, it's worse
Yeah, I
than
mean,
nails on
it,
a chalkboard.
it's pretty bad. And I was actually impressed, not this time, but not the other times I've watched it, with Rick Moranis singing. I always just thought he was played, but I actually listened to him. He doesn't have a bad voice. He hits
Nope.
some good long notes too. And
Uh, I was shocked by the amount of cameos in this movie.
hmm
Didn't know that the late great John Candy was in it. Didn't know that Bill Murray was in it, and man, was he a
yes.
sadist. He was so excited. I love the fact that the dentist was a masochist. Like he just
Yes.
loved giving pain and just hurting people. And I'm like, of course, it's a dentist. They
It's-
are.
yes. And that's my favorite song in this one of my two. But that whole song Steve Martin does as the dentist, talks about how he was just born this way, basically. Like you say, is
Yeah.
sadistic sadist. And he's like, I'll kill puppies and guppies. And my mom said, you know what? You're gonna be a dentist. People are gonna pay you for
Well,
giving
and
them
they
pain.
introduce him as a street tough, like a thug.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm gonna be a dentist. I'm like,
Mhm.
what? Of course. Why not? Why
Of
not be
course.
the dentist?
I am gonna say this. This is the first time I've seen this movie. Let me explain. This is why I get upset. I get not upset, but just don't understand the Mandela effect. This is how I remember it. This is what it was. This happens to be, I believe, the director's cut, not the theatrical release, or it could be the theatrical release and not the director's cut. I've seen the other one. The only difference in the other one that I grew up watching, watched every time until I watched this one, was at the very end, Seymour saves Audrey. They sing. James Belushi comes up and says, "I want to take these flowers to everyone else in the alley," and then he goes in there and he fights the Audrey too, and he takes electricity and electrocutes Audrey too. That's the one I remember seeing, not what we watched today. That ending is not what I was used to. Never seen this ending before, and I think the ending was a little bit long. We get the point of the ending that kind of kept going and going and going and going.
The movie could have ended when Seymour ended.
Yes,
That's it. Just end.
yeah,
The fact that they had to go through the have Audrey too, who was a guy, uh rampaging through a toy set town and doing, and then cheesy, you know, Godzilla type black and or green screen
yes.
in the background. And
But maybe that's why there is a second ending. Because second ending is a happy ending. It's a victory ending. You know, Audrey's fine, Rick is fine, Seymour's fine, everyone's fine. Everything else is the same except for that little small 5 minute group.
see, and I thought that that was the end. Like that the plant died or some like I don't know.
Hmm.
So I've seen this movie one time and I had to have been 8 years old, like 7 or 8. And I only really remember the plant, probably because I was afraid of it. Like I don't really
I'd
remember like the plot of it. I didn't know that it was an alien plant. Um,
been
yeah.
afraid of it too. I mean, now if I walked on a plant that size, I'd be scared. I'm not going to see a botanical garden that has that plant.
Now, something that I would love for this to happen with this movie is if they remastered it and put it in like a 4DX theater where like you have the smell, the seat moves, the screen is
The mist,
bigger. Yeah,
the
like
mist,
it's like almost that you're in it and you could smell it and all
yeah.
that because that's what's missing from this. I love the set design, like the
Hmm.
fake of it, like and you know it's fake and everything's on rail system or a magnet type system and the only thing missing is you can't smell it at an
Right.
amusement park. Like you know that the smell is, and you want like that is what I would wish that there was a thing for it.
And
Um,
the animatronics, the movement of the plant. I mean, I don't know how long it took them to do those kind of things because that was pretty impressive. The fact that they had this, and it wasn't CGI; it was practical effects.
yep.
Um, I liked all the songs there. I liked not all of them. Some were kind of crazy, but I love the very end. I love that last song where he's like, "Excuse me, wait a minute, we're gonna do it my way, and we're not doing it at all." You know, and he's making fun of the thing, the
Hmm.
creature, the Black Lagoon thing. He's like,
No, I don't come from no black lagoon. I'm past the stars and beyond the moon. Yeah. You can keep the thing, hey. Keep the it, whoa. Keep the creature. They don't mean shit.
"They ain't nothing on me." He goes, "I'm about to beat your ass, boy. I'm about to beat it good." I love that little song there. Um, I like his song about he has to give him blood, and he finally first time he figured out how to give him blood. Um, so I mean, it was just a simple story.
I like the song about when he gets the plant. I like that like bum bum ba like
Hmm.
or like and then one day I led up to a thing and
Yeah,
ba da da like
total eclipse of the sun.
right.
Yes,
But I found it almost like offensive that they played like the Chinese plant salesman selling a plant that he's never seen before to Seymour. Like, how is he gonna buy a plant off a guy that didn't even like know like was just
it's almost like the plant sales guy because when you have you're right. That's a very good point because the guy that runs the
well yeah,
place
because he didn't own it. The shop guy didn't own it.
he either gets him brought in so he checks him off so we know we got, or he grows him
Yeah,
at his own house so he knows what he
right,
has. This is a plant he had no idea where it was. Yeah,
right.
I do like the three female singers throughout the whole thing. They sing little songs in the background. Oh, like
Yep.
the walking, they were wonderful. I thought they were great.
Uh,
Um,
the plastic on the furniture when uh the what's her name Audrey was singing, it flashed me back so hard. This thing, I actually had to look it up. I was like, is this a war? Like who? I thought it was Disney, but Universal actually is the studio that pushed this movie out. I didn't know that,
I
and I
know
was like,
that.
oh okay, because like they had the the cartoon bird at one point. And I was like, oh, that looks like a Disney bird.
I'm trying to remember the cartoon bird.
It was way in the beginning. And
Uh,
also at 8 minutes and 43 seconds, it felt like I had been watching 30 minutes of the movie.
well,
Oh,
that
that
that's
beginning was
fair.
long.
That beginning was long. I mean, like I said, I really didn't get into it until they introduced the dentist. Once they introduced the dentist, I was like, this is great. And the dentist, he's like,
The
and
that
he gets off his
mask,
motorcycle. He says, stop. And the motorcycle stops. Stupid woman, you little jumping off the. I mean, he's screaming at her. I'm like, this is wonderful. It's not, you shouldn't be treating women that way. But the way he was doing it was
yeah.
over the top. And he's like, sorry, doctor. Sorry, doctor. Sorry, doctor. Sorry, go ahead.
Um,
What were you going to say about mask?
th his mask, that laughing gas mask,
Mhm.
was terrifying. That is scary. Wow.
Well,
Wow.
Here we go.
the dentist was scary. I mean, he's probably scarier than the plant, unless you're
That
Bill
was
Murray's
like
character. What
like
with
a
the
Batman villain mask.
But you see the tools he was using? I don't know if there's an actual tool that has a curve with a bunch of spikes on it. And if there is, I hope it's it for dentistry. But I love the Bill Murray's like, say oh he's
Oh yeah, and
so
he's putting the robe on, he's setting
yeah.
the light up just right, putting his like, oh yeah, okay.
That was that was probably the best scene in the whole film.
It
Bill
was by far the
Murray
funniest part of the whole movie, yeah.
and Steve Martin just to get nothing to do with the plant, nothing to do with the singing. They were just being them,
Yeah.
doing such a great job.
It's funny though, it has no reason to be in it whatsoever.
No,
None of that needed to be there. And the nurse is like, I don't care, I'm out, I'm done for the day, I'm dipping out.
getting the heck out of this place. Let's see. I like how they try to make it lighthearted, even though if they wanted to, they probably could have been very scary.
Hmm.
I liked it when Mr. Marish, the guy that owns the plant store,
Yep.
sees what Seymour does, and he has the gun, and he brings upstairs, and you can hear the plant singing in the background, and the music. Oh, like and then he goes, but if you just leave the plant, I'll let you get away. He turns around, there's the plant, and the plant just says,
Yep.
I was just like, that would be. Can you imagine getting eaten by a plant? How scary that would be. I mean,
I'm
that
sure
would just.
being eaten by anything would probably be scary, Jason.
I think I'd rather be eaten by a plant because like one bite and you're done. Eaten by something else, you live through it all. I don't know, but yeah, he was a douche. Um, I didn't much care for him. And Audrey, it's a basic movie with a lot of songs. I mean, the movie would only be an hour and 20 minutes long if there was no songs and that ending wasn't 10 minutes long. That ending, the original, what I saw after Kill a Plant, they zoom on them two in a house together with the white picket fence that she was singing about, and that's it. It's
Oh,
uh, it's it's over 2 minutes later.
that's a better
So
ending.
thank you. So because of that, I'm like, this is definitely not as highly recommended in my brain as it used to be. And um, let's see, I was trying to think of anybody else that we missed the John Candy. You mentioned John Candy.
Mhm.
Him going in there. Why?
Was
Well,
Dan Aykroyd in this?
no.
Okay. I was just double
Christopher
checking.
Guest is Christopher Guest. You know who that is,
Okay.
right?
I'm familiar with the name.
He was the one that came and goes, I just saw an unusual and weird looking plant in your thing.
Oh
You have
yeah, yeah,
$1,000
yeah.
worth of
That's
that's
Christopher
Christopher
Guest.
Guest. Yes.
He's like,
So that
oh,
was
Can you break 100? No.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess I'll get two.
Yeah. Try get try some, yeah. And that was another thing, the way they did that. They made it very 1950s sitcomish,
Yep.
very proper and very the way that style was. So and I enjoyed that. It's
Yeah.
not a Schindler's List movie. It's not it's not a uh, Velocipaster,
It's
but
not that, no, it's not cinematic gold.
no, it's not. Oh, my daughter did say that anybody that likes the movie Veloci Priest is what she called it doesn't have a right to judge any film. I just want
I'm
to
pretty
say
sure I
that.
gave it like a stump or
You
two
gave it very
trees
low. Yeah, you
yeah, but
did.
I just like it because it's stupid. Doesn't mean I think it's worth a damn. But the coming up with
Is
the
there
second
anything else?
one.
Oh, is there anything else you'd like to say about the film before we move on? Okay, let's go on to the 5-star and 1-star reviews. The first 5-star review comes from Ellen M. The absolute GOAT, greatest of all time for those that don't know. Peak music, peak acting, peak everything.
Yep. 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 Okay. First one star or less comes from unknown. God awful, boring and lame.
um, if you don't like musicals, you're not gonna like this film at all. But if you like some sort of music, you'll be okay. And it'd be boring if you don't like music. So, and if you don't like the music being played, it's very boring. If you
Mm.
do not enjoy the music being played, it's gonna, you know. Anyways,
You know what
the
this
sec
movie didn't have?
what
Children
children's singing.
singing.
I think one and Skid Row song at the very beginning had like one word, something small thing. Yeah.
Enough for
So.
me to overlook it.
But so a step better than
Greatest Showman.
Greatest Showman. Okay. The next 5-star review comes from Kimberly M. If you love puppets and singing, you should watch this. Modern movies can never take the effort to animate a demon puppet plant. And they did a really good job on the puppet plant.
Oh yeah. I mean, again, it's great. It's a stage performance, but really well directed. Cameras were placed in really good spots, made you feel like you were really in on the stage performance, and that's what's beauty. It's a staged performance. It's a beautiful movie. Uh, the next 1 star or less comes from unknown. Weird, awkward, and uncomfortable with a couple funny moments.
Was weird. Awkward. I don't know why it'd be uncomfortable. I mean,
Maybe the relationship between the main actress and her boyfriend, maybe the uncomfortable
could be.
piece. Though I found it interesting when she was like, "But he's a professional." And he's like, "What kind of
Hello.
professional is he?" And then he
Yeah.
introduces him as, "I'm a dentist." Like, what? All right. I mean, not wrong.
Now
He
you
is a
know.
dentist.
Yeah.
Like, he
He's
is
a
a
professional.
professional.
Yeah.
DDS.
And DDS, yes, dentistry. Yeah. The last 5-star review comes from Julian S. Featuring a clever comic book style and sharp wit, this musical version is a significant upgrade from the original film, with original Broadway star Ellen Green's soaring voice leading the way. I've never seen the original film. I didn't know it was a remake.
I didn't either until uh, looking at when I typed in Rotten Tomatoes and I saw 1960. I was like, oh. And then I was gonna mess with you when you said who was in the cast, and I'm like, that's not the movie I watched. Like that was my initial
They weren't even born yet.
like, who the heck are those? Like, Steve Martin was in this?
Was he 5?
Uh, the last 1 star or less comes from unknown. This remake is terrible. What's up with the musical parts in this movie? And the plant talking just plain terrible in every way.
The plant was one of the best things about the film. His voice, the way he, I mean, the way he sang. Like, I love the part he kept saying. He repeated, And now it's supper time. He always kept saying that part. His voice, I can't remember who the guy that plays him. I want to say he's
Bobby,
what
Bobby,
Ivy,
Ivy. Yes.
Ivy. So he I think he's saying with the Commodores or a group like that in the '60s. I'm pretty sure he was one of those. But I think he was great. I think
I
the
I
fact they
did
talk, what are you supposed to
fair
do?
I did fairly decent with the like impersonating it while I was like listening to it.
Listen to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The WTF, what the F or was the first? This definitely was the first. It's just what the F. Unknown, 2 stars. I don't like musicals. They're slow and the singing annoys me. This one, however, has great actors and is fun to watch. Why are you watching a musical?
I didn't know it was a musical. And then it was like, oh, okay, it's got a song in it. And then like, oh,
Oh,
okay, it's got 2 songs in it. Oh, fudge, it's a musical.
it
Well,
makes
I'm
sense
already
because of
invested in it. I might as well watch it.
they probably didn't advertise it as a musical, and that one unknown who didn't like it said, "What's with the musical part?" So I'm wondering if the original was not a musical, and then became a play, and the play became a musical.
Hmm. I may consider trying to watch the OG. Hmm.
If it's less than an hour and 30 minutes, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, if it's like 45, no, I don't know. No, I got big things going.
Well, you heard what the audience said and the critics said, so let's see what the audience and the critics have scored this movie. Well, the wonderful people at Rotten Tomatoes have scored this a high 91%, while the audience scored it a high 79%.
Hmm. I can understand both. Totally. I understand it.
Yeah. There was we watched other musicals for Musical March, which I meant to tell everybody it was Musical March in the
Yep.
intro. Um, we watched a few, and I don't know. So far, I ain't gonna say what's my favorite so far, but I'm liking this more than I remember liking it. If that makes sense.
That's good.
Okay. You heard what the people thought, what the critics thought. You heard what Rotten Tomatoes rated this movie. I mean, scored this movie. Now it's time to hear what me and Nate rate this movie. I'm gonna go first. I watched this kid. I watched this show when I was a kid. I used to watch it all the time. I watched it on VHS. I watched it on DVD. I watched it on HBO. I watched it all the time
I
because I love the
watched
songs.
it on Betamax. I watched it on reel to reel with a tape
I
deck.
watched it on 8 millimeter. Um, because I enjoy it and I love the songs. I do not like this version of this movie. I do not like the ending. I do not like the negative ending and how poorly it was done. How the 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 fakeness of the city would. I mean, I know the whole movie's done on a stage somewhere, and you could tell that, but the ending was like miniature looking things. Despised it. I didn't mind the very end where it says the end, and then the plant busted through the screen like he was in the theater. I imagine that would be kind of cool in the theater. Outside of that 10 minutes, which I didn't like it. I thought Rick Moranis was fine. I don't think anyone overacted. I don't think anyone underacted. I think they were all. No one did a great performance. Good storyline. I like the Skid Row songs. I like the Dennis song. I love It's Dinner Time. I liked all the songs. Suddenly Seymour. I even like Suddenly Seymour. Um, and you said a long time ago, 2 years ago, a movie's great, but if you can't stick the ending, it sucks. You said that about ISS. I'm gonna say about this musical, and it makes me mad because I loved this movie, but I agree with you. It didn't stick the ending, so it is going to get. And you're gonna be like, what? It's still gonna get 4 trees from.
My turn, assholes.
It was weird. I don't like musicals at all. You know this, but I do like plays. I enjoy plays and I like the set design. And I could kind of overlook the musicals part of it because I actually enjoyed the way the songs were and I enjoyed the theme of the music and the way like they had bebop, they had a lot of cool things. Um, there's no way. Oh, I would recommend this to my surgeon. I totally, yeah, I figured you probably would too. Uh, there's no way somebody the size of Seymour is dragging the dentist across town to go hack him up. Not gonna happen. There's no physical way that dude's doing it. Um, I liked all the characters. I loved the cameo spots. It made me nostalgic. I really am looking forward more now to seeing Rick Moranis come back into acting for Spaceballs 2, which for sure we'll end up reviewing on here, I'm sure. Um, I had to go back and see what I rated The Greatest Showman because I felt
Okay.
like this movie wasn't better than that, and it wasn't worse than that. So I had to figure out what I scored that so I could score this. I scored The Greatest Showman 3 trees. However, I gave it a bump because it had a dog in it. And I have to follow suit again because this movie musical also had two dogs in it. And
It
if
did.
I'm going to give it to the bump on there, I'm going to give it to the bump on here. So somebody who doesn't like musicals gave this musical 3 trees and a stump.
Well, you heard it here first. Nate gives Little Shop of Horrors with the long ending, 3 trees and a stump because of the dog. I'm giving it 4 trees because I just think it's a wonderful musical, and I do like musicals. Nate does not. But tell us what you think. Was it worthy 4 stars? Was it worthy of one? Oh, sorry, trees. Did I say stars? Trees, trees, trees. We don't do stars here. We do trees. He gave it 3 trees and a stump. I gave it 4 trees. But what do you think? Um, just write down here. Let us know what we should be watching. What musical is your favorite? Because that's all we need to know. Because we'll watch it for you. You just got to tell us. And we will see you next week on Trees in Space.
What?